Ni kama tumeanza. I am just liking the fact that, I have my friends on set beyond, them being counselors, life coaches. And so we want to make this conversation as interesting as possible. Mike is here after a very long time. Should I say Happy New Year or Happy Valentine's? But the last time you were here, quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Salimia watu.
Good morning. We are happy to have you. Yeah.
Karibu sana. You won't tell them your name as well?
Oh, I'm David Kuria. I'm a marriage therapist.
Yes, and that aspect of marriage is totally on its knees. So is it that the therapists are not doing what they're supposed to do? Is it that marriage no longer makes sense to many of us? Just what is happening? Mike, say hi to the people.
Good morning, Kenyans. My name is Mike. And I'm happy to be here. I deal with mentorship. I deal with growth. Because in marriage, without mentorship, is vanity.
It's vanity.
Because if you don't prepare people to the marriage, then we'll be treating diseases instead of forming marriages. So I'm a mentor in this country, or based on branding mindset.
Very important.
Quality marriages.
Yes, the mindset.
Quality relationships.
Yeah, you should always, enhance, your thinking, your mind. You should always take it to that space where you align to the changes that come along. You align to what it is that other people, conform to. Try to get them to, your own space and understand how best you can make sure that the relationships that we enjoy are successful. You must have seen the report by the Kenya Bureau of Statistics yesterday in relation to love, in relation to affairs, in relation to, the fabric of, the moral fabric of the marriage setup, and generally, those ones that are at that age of dating, so to speak, those ones that are at that age where they can say, now at this point I think I can date and I would be fresh and ready to proceed to marriage. So David, just what is this that we're not doing? I mean, are you not tired as marriage therapist of hearing people say that why is it that marriage za kina baba zetu zilikuwa zinawaka, siku hizi mambo imekuwa tofauti? Are you not scared that even in this space that you're in, the cases of divorce are skyrocketing?
Wow. We are not scared, and that is why we are here.
Okay.
We have stepped in to cure this problem in our own ways. But I would want to still say that marriages are still strong.
Okay. How many?
There is a notion that the marriage institution has slightly fell, but I don't ascribe to that fact. There are many marriages that are standing. The only thing that has happened over time is that there is a dilution, a deliberate destruction of the institution of marriage. And I would say that what has caused that is people have diverted from the original purpose of marriage, and they just want to reduce it to sex and pleasure. When you reduce an institution to sex and pleasure, it loses its meaning. And thus we are stepping in to give its original meaning. Exactly.
All right, and we'll be getting to know what is the original meaning. And when we say we have reduced this to sex and pleasure, it is even worse that now these cases of divorce are on the rise, because then when it is reduced to that, and that as well is not experienced in this, holy setup, then clearly there's no reason for these two people to be there together. There's no reason for these people to continue to stay together and, even speak of these cases of compromise or building, a lasting family together. So much. In your own view, I mean, are you not worried that we keep talking of how the marriages of our parents worked and that ours are not working as expected?
Linda, to talk the truth, my 27 experience in mentorship, in family therapy, in preparation for
27
marriage.
years?
Yeah, in fact, this is the 28th year.
Okay.
Kuna shida.
Kubwa.
I'm even very much worried.
Okay.
Because the genesis of marriage is no longer there. The concept in Genesis 2:18 that I will leave my mother and my father to become one, that's no longer there. The Genesis of I love you, you respect me, is no longer there. What a man can do, a woman can do better.
Okay, is what
those are politics.
What do you mean those are politics? Is it not what has been proven
but
and tested over time?
Within the marriage.
You have seen women doing it better.
I don't refuse. It's all about responsibilities which are different between both me and you.
Right.
But the concept of the Bible can never be changed.
But don't you also agree to the fact that now the boy child understands very well that this is what the concept of the Bible is. This is what the Bible requires for me to do. And then they have stopped doing that.
That's true. And that's why I don't point fingers. I point fingers to myself.
Okay.
That's why I'm getting worried.
Right.
We've been doing a lot of trainings, a lot of formation in marriage therapy, and especially in Catholic Church, the whole country. And you look even the preparation for people to get married. Let me talk of myself as a Catholic. Before I get married, before I go to the wedding, there is a preparation. They go for 10 days. This is no syllabus. 10 days ni kidogo sana. Imagine, for me to become who I am today as a psychologist, I went for years just to become a profession thing. But to become a life profession, lifetime profession on marriage between me and my wife, there's no school.
Is it not because they say that, and I mean, we're constantly told that you can never get to learn your spouse to, the very last bit of it. It is a process. And therefore, in as much as you'd give it 10 years to study this, maybe we might not get to the bottom of it. And that's why you're allowed to fly and get into it and learn in the process.
Okay, Linda, marriage starts from purpose. And there is a reason why God instituted marriage. And he wanted a picture of us and himself. There is a scripture in Hosea. Hosea was a man of God, and he had been sent to the children of Israel who are rebellious. And what happens, Hosea finds the responsibility very hard for him. And God tells him, go to Koinange, get one of the nastiest prostitutes over there. And he does that. He gets her from the streets. Then after they are in the same house, the first child, the second child, the third child is not Hosea's. But God keeps on telling him, go back to that woman. There is something God wants for us as human beings. He wants to cement real love. Love is not infatuation. It is not lust. It is not where I see Lida is beautiful and I just admire her and we come to the house. Love is a tested thing. And the purpose of marriage is to model us, to express love, just like God expresses love. And when you know to express love in the institution of marriage, you are able to express love everywhere else. This is because it is in marriage people are tested. You test your patience, you test your kindness, you test your long-suffering, you test your generosity in marriage, because we are very different individuals. And the purpose of marriage technically is to model us, to be like God himself, to love unconditionally. And this is what has gotten lost, and that is why I have said that marriage has just been reduced into sex and pleasure. And pleasure comes even with money, the issue of money. But we have really to go back to the issue of love. And we define what is love even before we talk about marriage. We are told love is kind, love is patient. There is the deficiency that is there is not many other issues. It's because there is no love.
Beyond the good book, which we all respect and abide to, there are others or other religions that have their own good books. There are others that actually are atheists that will tell you they do not believe in religion, in anything, in the existence of God. But all these people come together in marriage. And there are numerous ways of defining marriage.
Exactly.
There are numerous ways, that a married couple are required to conduct themselves. And these ones we can align ourselves to. But we also do not forget the fact that it's a world that is changing by the day, that there's a lot of transition that is playing out. Are we overlooking transition when we say then we have to constantly stick to what it is that the good book speaks of?
In fact, Linda, wacha nikwambie, let's look the reality.
Yes.
Even the Bible, they could look the behavioral pattern by that time. Today, things have changing. Budangu na madhangu walikatiana kwa mto.
Yes.
Tunakatiana kwa was up na was down.
True.
Vile tunakatiana si vile walikatiana.
Yeah.
Let's face the reality. Pastors tufike pahali tuhubiri the reality. Let's look about what is the synergy between me. Before I look about this concept of love, how do I look? Am I in a position to relate? First is to relate. First is the synergy between, are we relating? In the simple concept. Because it's all about relationship. Because at the moment, me to me, before I come to love, are you my friend? You can, and that's why...
And friendship is an aspect of love in my own thinking.
Exactly.
True. Are you my friend? Because people will define love differently. Muslim will come with their own definition. Christian will come with their own definition. Youth today, Gengeton will come with their own definition.
And even those ones that were there then,
and even
don't even
parents,
get a chance to befriend each other.
They will define life.
Unaletewa huyu,
unaletewa.
huyu.
Na inakuwa sasa unamlove.
Yeah.
But are we friend? Some cultures will even bring the way of said na aletwe. That tutasema ni love. And when you look about in our holy books, Muslim, Christian, and all those, it have their own definition, and we cannot ignore that.
Yeah.
But we must look today. The truth is what? If you're not my friend, even normal friend, because it's out of one day I met you, we become friends, we have coffee, we start journeying. But the genesis of us now looking the temperament of Linda and temperament of Mike to see whether they can synergize. Where you say you leave your father, you leave the single concept in you and the single concept in me to become together.
Yeah.
Hapo ndio tunakosa mazi. Una meet gala, umemmeet na umemnoki na imekuwa ni love. And after that tumemit na everything, even na mapasta vile watupelekea inakuwa sasa umejuana kila kitu, and that's why we talk in marriage therapy. What is your 2 years experience, 5 years experience, 10 years experience? Because wakati tunaanza tulisema tuna love. And I agree with him in a come concept of we bond in sexual.
Right. Then
we say, Maze, I've fallen in love. It's good to fall in love because you'll wake up after falling. Because we need to open our inner eyes and realize, we'll behave aje. Maze nikilala na Linda, yung ngorota. We don't want to hear the bitter part of Maichi.
Yeah.
The bitter part of, and that's why marriages are breaking up.
So we march into this space, you're saying, with expectations of goodness, totally goodness, and therefore when this other side we get to see, we're not able to compromise. Is that what you're telling us?
Wacha nikwambie, tulikuwa na training, a big training.
Yeah.
And we decided to separate men kando and women. And there's a training, we have the 4 boxes, and we have who is Mr. Right. Linda, can I shock you? People have been 5 years, 10 years. They come to realize that the Mr. Right that ideally ningetaka siye niko naye. Sio huyo.
Okay.
Why? What is the problem? Is the genesis.
Okay.
Tulianzana aje? Because mtoi amekuja and the way I've been brought up, itabidi tuishi na wewe.
Right.
Itabidi tuseme ni love. You see? But if we try to go as family therapists, go to the root, go to the young people. As we repair this one, we start now looking, how do we prepare these people? How do we help them to look at things differently? For some, I have a daughter university. How without looking the reality? My girl goes to university, very innocent, very cool, very calm. And now you realize you're the only person not in a relationship. So they start defining the relationship based on that university or based on the peer influence there. So by the time wamepata mtu ine imefika huku juu, becomes different concept. Become different completely. Look about the late of single mothers. But the single fathers, we're not talking about it.
Yeah,
but the it's all over.
It
Why? It's somewhere was wrong.
Dave.
Can I interrupt a bit?
Yes.
Or I add something?
Yeah.
Leader, have you ever quarreled with yourself?
Yes. There are times I've felt like I want to take a whip and whip myself proper.
But
not quarreling as such.
Exactly.
But feeling like now you would have handled this differently, Linda.
All right. Now, if the quarrel people experience in marriage or the fights they have, you don't fight yourself. You should ask yourself why. Because when a man and a woman come together, we all agree they become one thing. Mm-hmm. Why are there quarrels?
Okay.
And I would not say probably is the origin where they met or how they met. Because as you said, in our traditional ways, a girl used to be brought, probably even underage, to a man, and then she is taught by older women.
But today they're not even ready to be taught.
It's not that people are not ready. Who is there to teach you? Who is there to teach you in the first place? Who is there? Usiseme they are not ready to be taught. Let's just be honest. There's nobody to teach them anyway. Okay.
So the concept of quarrels in marriage comes in place because we have not fused. Marriage is supposed to be man and the lady. They fuse, so that they have commonality of purpose and commonality of mind. But remember, it doesn't take a day. It takes a long time. It's a long
perhaps
journey.
Forever.
And that is, perhaps forever, but that is a journey of love. The journey of true love.
They are not quarreling. Something is wrong. But if you don't step on each other, one is lying to each other.
Okay.
But your autonomy. In philosophy, you are unique.
Yes.
Your autonomy, I'm autonomy. But you're trying to synergize to be one.
Okay.
Yes, but there is a type of quarrel that goes beyond now what we can call a loving quarrel. You know, quarrel should always bring you to
a healthy one, okay?
A healthy one. Exactly.
We call it indifferences.
Indifferences that
yeah, indifferences.
Yes.
Sure.
But on the process, we must get what you call negotiation skill.
Okay. But we can come back on the table and say,
there is a level of equilibrium to meet, despite I differ with the ideology. Exactly. You differ with my ideology, but we must have common goal.
Okay.
The common goal, we are going there. But, mbona ulivaa hii top? Your wife, no. Wewe hii ndio unapenda. Na yeye apendi hiyo. But now, the moment we discuss, we disagree to agree, then we come up to a common goal.
But we also have a generation that is an ATM generation.
Okay.
Where when it doesn't go my way, I will go out and get somebody else.
Okay.
And we are not, marriage is supposed to form your character. And it's supposed to form all of you to just be something glorious for yourself. The institution of marriage makes you better. But now if you are impatient, with your spouse, if you have an alternative, you go out.
And I don't know whether this in most cases is triggered, and this in relation to the report that we speak to, a report that not everybody agrees to, but perhaps raises some things that are clear, some facts that are clear. So when you say it's a cheating nation, and let me tell you, out of observation, that sometimes you see the men going out, but the rate at which they protect their marriage, the rate at which they protect their women, is to tell you that really things are not as bad at home. But even as the fact that we see that things are not as bad at home, this person still goes out. Goes out with one woman and another one and another one and another one. So how can we say that maybe it's because it's now not working and people are impatient, now they have to go out, when you see them very well protecting the marriage that they have, protecting their women, as well going back and acting like they're the best of husbands, yet out there, they are out?
The jury is out. People today have a celebration of sexual immorality. Let's call it as it is. When you meet men talking, they will talk of how they cheated ladies.
And it's normal. It's normal today. In fact, it's what gives.
They've developed a culture which is a funny culture.
It's like it adds a crown to your hair.
But like I said, there is a misunderstanding about what is marriage. And people equate marriage with mostly sex. But what is also happening, the dynamics are changing. women, okay, I'm sorry to say this, but most women are also holding back. They are being tight on that area, such that when the man requires services...
Is it the case really?
It is because all of us have become very busy.
This woman is a human being. Why would they hold? What would they be tight on? What is a need? Because it's clearly a need across.
It is biological, because what pushes men to engage in sexual pressure is testosterone hormone.
Which
in women is a bit low. For men is quite high. And you see why it was why it is always like that. Man, let me just go back a bit and explain something. Man has the original blueprint for any marriage. So the reason why they are the ones that give the woman the seed is for the woman to nurture the seed, and then afterwards it will manifest either as an accomplished vision. You see that dream in a man? That dream in a man? When a woman holds it, he can be able to nurture it and become something. That is why you see a beautiful woman marrying a very dirty man, and they can live together because they are able to nurture and grow dreams. The same even in sex. When the man plants some seed in a woman, it comes out as a baby. But now you tend to find out that most women are becoming laid back because of the pleasures of work. So at the end of the day, they are tired, and the men hormones are calling.
Why should I work to a point of being tired? If you're a man, you're supposed to provide.
Let me tell you, ideally,
why should I have the pressure?
Let me tell you, based on marriage, hakuna concept ya tiredness.
It shouldn't be there.
The moment love is there, what you're talking about, trust me, I shower like this, I refreshen.
It actually should be what gives you relief.
They are created they have an extra energy. Let me tell you one thing. Look culturally. Women are even stronger than men. What men we are is masculine. My mom could go, ameenda kulima na baba yangu, the same portion. Na after that, ameenda amekata kuni, ameenda amebeba maji. There is an energy. Na akikuja, by the time baba yangu amefika, amekelea miguu juu ya meza, amechoka, amedai. My mom is still strong. Na jioni ataitishu pale pale. You get it? But the woman have that energy. Look even today, beba mtoi, linda mina yeye. By the time sijafika stage ya kupatia, utabeba na utarudi. So there's an energy in a woman that we can't. That's why I salute women. So the concept of today, we are tired from work. Mazeni vitu za kujibatizia. But also men have taken advantage instead of being there. Do you know, a woman just needs some words?
Right. 2-3 words.
2-3 words, the tiredness goes away. We have so many with seminars, and who comes? Women. Men are not there. Think about HIV. In 1980, it became national disasters. Who comes for this training? Women.
And speak of HIV testing, also this is what the research speaks of, or the statistics, or the survey speaks of. 47% of women and 39% of men tested in last 12 months. That tells you that the 47% of women, are more than the men in terms of understanding the need to test, the need to be careful, the need to be on alert.
But there is a culture concept that hata kwa kanisa, women wameja. I don't know how we are going to change it for men to realize. But it started a long time ago with our mothers. Don't cry like a woman. So a man, you are expected to become a man.
A strong person.
Even the rate of death, suicide of men is higher than women. So we need to change the narrative and realize, as women need formation, knowledge, also men need formation and knowledge. And we come from our ego concept, egocentric approach that siezi ambiwa. Talk about sex. No man will come. Trust me. Women watajazana hivyo.
They want to understand how make their men.
But the men, we are shying off. Utaki kuambia you have a weakness. Aje sasa.
But Maish, when I talk to couples, one of the greatest handles they are having is the sex issue. And mostly, what I was talking about, women are not ready to nurture. in terms of you see a man can just come and finish their thing very fast.
And you see that's the problem. Do they know the language of love?
There is something we are also saying about the woman nurturing. There is a way, a woman is a trainer, and that is why your mom is the one who trained you most of the things. Some of these things take the lady to train his man. To
tell them this is the button to press.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you find that most of the women after work, even if they engage, let me put to that point, even if they engage, they just lie like a log. It is true.
Who is to train these women? Who is to train these women?
They must be deliberate.
Okay.
There must be a deliberate
attempt. I think it's not all about women to train us. In fact, the ideological approach is I form my woman the way
you want them.
Akingara uko nje ni vile nimemnacha. It's the other way around. And when it comes to sex concept, hakuna darasa. But the media, another culture have come within the society which we cannot ignore. The media is telling the saloon methodology within the ladies, what they are discussing. Alafu tuwaache hao ndio watakuja watu train. My friend yangalia hivi nisha. Aleta formula ya chali fulani hapo ndio sasa. So we must now look, I look at you, Linda, as my wife, as autonomy. You look at me as autonomy, and we know we can train each other. We can journey together. You see, if you look about vile media to change hata mimi today, si vile enzi za baba zetu na mama zetu. If you look the way they could stay and everything, they could quarrel and come back. Today tuna quarrel, unaenda hao wengine na unaenda hao wengine. You know, so there is a concept of two to be part of the story for that marriage.
Yes, but there is an idea of masculinity and femininity. Masculinity talks about fighting, working hard, pushing. There is the idea of being feminine. It is not being a woman. Every man has the masculine features and a feminine features. Every woman has the same, but you know, for men they have more masculinity and less femininity. And that is where it boils down now to even women taking time, because you see, it is all about nurturing. We all see that what a woman can do, what a man can do, women can do better. I understand it is very true. But you see, they have to guard their marriage by ensuring that
but don't you think it's a wrong ideology? It's a wrong ideology. Mtu alikuja kama Linda na wewe na everything.
We are looking at Proverbs 31. And Linda has mentioned it. If you look at Proverbs 91, the woman is a homemaker. He is the Proverbs that one puts her as if she is the king again. But she is the one who nurtures her man. And like I said, a woman, a very beautiful, cute woman, can marry a very dirty man. A man who everybody sees has no vision.
In today's era?
Exactly. Exactly. There are people we have worked with.
And they make the best out of this man. Exactly.
So even today, probably what I faced mostly is women are abdicating the feminism, feminine nature of being kind, polite, and nurturing. Because men are like, I don't want to mention that, but
they are like. Let me read this statement. Perhaps exactly. It says average numbers of sexual partners are 2.3 among women and 7.4 among men. So you want to blame the woman for the man going out there and having not just one partner, but maybe 7.
Let me say this.
I wouldn't blame,
they are what in nature.
I was of the point that that aspect of femininity has to come back somehow. They must also not be fighters all the time. You know, women have become fighters in their marriage, and their requests in
so they've lost the real concept.
Exactly,
the real concept of how it should be.
When a lion meets another, a male lion meets another one, they fight seriously.
Yes.
So their needs are kind of toning down. They know, yes, we are kings in the marketplace, like you, but we have a place in our home for my husband and my kids to be the mother, to be that cool, nice, you know, the strong woman is not the strong woman in the workplace. The strong woman is a woman who can be able to calm his men.
Let me
but without love.
The idea of submission,
Yeah.
the idea of submission doesn't mean being put under. It means, you know, submission is power. I don't know if you have ever been abused by somebody, you laugh at them, they feel so ashamed.
Yes.
That is the power of submission. That is a strength.
Have we been loved enough in these setups for us to submit?
His story is normal. When it comes to submission and everything,
yes,
a woman walks with the proverb 24:13, wisdom. And how you, not really submission, to me, how you try to understand me and protect the marriage matters a lot to a woman. A man might fight. A man might throw this and this. You fight with the man. You're 24/7 on the phone of the man. You will die. But a woman protects her marriage. But now it has changed to the ego of the women, to the philosophy of what a man can do. There's a Kabila to hell. With the selfish concept, not forgetting the child need the man and the woman. So to my point here, I think there is something we need to do differently. To me.
Right.
How we look the women, because the woman will look at me and nurture me and understand. And to me is how women are created in a different way. Women have joints of reasoning, how they connect their things. As we have boxes. And the moment I try to understand how your joints are and how you try to understand me through conversation, through dialogue, then marriage will be there. But the moment I start fighting what you reason and how you connect your things, then fight comes in.
Exactly, because most of the fights are coming out because men are fixers, obviously. A lady will come and tell you, I had this problem in my workplace, 1, 2, 3, and you start saying, why didn't you do 1, 2, 3? You know, I have seen that many times, and they get irritated. I wasn't telling you to give me a solution. I was just venting so that you can listen. You know,
but also,
and that is what he is saying, that differences in our reasoning, in our way of makeup, how we are wired, understanding that would be very important.
It's beyond even your knowledge, that being PhD, being Mimi, no. It's about how you connect, how you're wired to be. And also how you're wired is based on how you've been brought up in your family background. And how I've been brought up.
But you can retrain yourself.
And the moment we come and now enter to synergize the 21st century approaches, because we like it or not, it is there and it is killing our marriages. Right. To look about, how do I start working with Linda? How do you start working with me? Sometimes Linda is earning more than me. Yeah. And we're talking masculinity, we are talking about, it's about the key component, Linda.
Yes.
It is both men and women need to enter to the philosophy of communication.
Yeah.
And communication needs to be interpreted very well. Because I might be telling you because I'm masculine. No, staki ina. The approach and the language and the tone and even understanding the love language matters a lot for me as a man, no matter how I was created.
You know, the reason why we're focusing on marriage is because that's the ultimate goal for people who come together. And so one would want to ask, is it necessary for you to kiss many frogs is it necessary for you to, you know, experience a couple of relationships before you finally say that now I want to get married? Because if we're to go by the good book, if we're to go by the moral standards, we'd say, you know, can you stay good until then it's time for you to get married, and then that one partner, you know, you get to court them and straight to marriage. But true to it is that that is not what is happening today. Do you suppose those ones that are getting into relationships, you know, a couple of them, they get to see different men, are well positioned to face marriage and to keep a marriage?
You know, marriage is sacred, starting from there. And something that is, I usually say that marriage is God's idea. So if you try to dilute it in any other form, it fails. Marriage is about purpose. Two people, God designed, the Creator made them with a specific purpose, and they come together to be able to reach a certain destination which they were created for. And the moment you start to divert by having different partners, you are diluting that which God, even destruction. If you look at American history, you see great men who, when they moved out of their marriages, a good example is Clinton, 1998. He was one of the most celebrated guys, but he ruined his career at the end of his presidency. When he walked, when he had a relationship with Monica Lewinsky. Other people are Tiger Woods of this world. So anyway, what happens? And a good example being Tiger Woods, the moment he lost, he lost the game in his marriage. He actually lost even sponsorship. He went out of the game for quite a long time. So that is what happens. The moment you move out of your marriage, you lose out on your purpose until you come back and you fix it. Because the person you are with is principally to help you in your purpose. And that is why even when you see cheating men, they don't want to lose their women. Because these women have worked with them, have lifted them to be where they are. If they are rich because of the woman that is in the house. But lust took over. It is lust, it is not love.
And you see that the underlying dangers to that, fine, you do not want to lose your woman in the sense that you don't want them to wake up in the morning and realize that you've been cheating and say, now I'm walking away. But you also forget that in the process of lust, in the process of cheating, then you are